What's going on, guys? It's your boy Rain, aka Rain Bets. We back! We back, baby. We back in full effect. I know the setup looks crazy. I know I got a big ass beard. I know I don't have a shirt on. I know it looks like I'm in a basement. I am in a basement, man. I'm at my in-laws, and I had to get this video content out. When you guys see the new setup, it's gonna look fucking unreal. Much more consistent content now, all NFL season long, into college basketball. You already know, I don't have to talk about my record. I don't have to talk about, the lifestyle, anything here. We're just going to dive straight into the picks, so I got to get y'all some content, man. So, coming in hot, game number one. You got the Chiefs versus the Ravens, man. Chiefs at home, facing off against the Ravens. Notable injuries. There's really only one. Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is out for the Chiefs tonight, which means another potential receiving threat gone for Patrick Mahomes. So, what are the key takeaways here? Also, another, people kind of write this off as not a big injury, but Arthur Maulet is the nickelback specialist for the Ravens. He is out as well. So, if you know nickel and dime coverage in the NFL, that's a lot of cover 2, cover 3, which is actually a good thing because Patrick Mahomes is too good for you to play zone against. He'll pick you apart and feed Travis Kelce non-fucking stop. So, let's dive into the takeaways. Ravens defense, still dominant. All right, I love the Ravens defense. I think it is phenomenal. Chiefs defense, I think it's phenomenal too. I really do. And overall, this is where my head's at, because everybody knows week 1 of the NFL, it's a bit of a trap. All right, I'll say it. It's a bit of a trap. Okay, because on paper, you pretty much only have the previous season to look at, some off-season stuff, and then, of course, preseason, which we all know preseason, especially only being 3 weeks this year, is pretty much hot shit, all right, to put it bluntly. So let's talk about the facts that we do know and how we can incorporate our football knowledge into making a good bet here. So, number 1, Ravens defense. I'm still very high in it. I think it's still very dominant, man. Historically, they've always had a very good defense. I'm a diehard Bengals fan, so I know, first and foremost, how good this defense is. I've watched damn near every Ravens game for the past, I couldn't even tell you how long, probably 20 years at this point. And it's their bread and butter, man. It's their bread and butter. It's how they operate. It's where they set the tone. Everything about this team is completely, fully encompassing of the Ravens lifestyle. Now, I do love the additions in the offseason of linebacker Kyle Van Noy and, of course, Nnamdi Madubuyuki. All right, very good players, very fucking good players. Van Noy comes from the Patriots. Matabuki, very strong man, great presence on the field, and overall is going to make a pretty big dominant effect. Now, the linebacker core, most people think it's weak. I don't truly understand why, because you have fucking Roquan Smith and you still have Kyle Van Noy, right? With the addition of Van Noy now, the linebacker core is elite, okay? People look too much at depth. This is the NFL, okay? 2s and 3s, you've been watching too much fucking preseason, all right? We're back to the 1s. We have added defensive pressure against Kelce. Obviously, we know from the previous game, their most recent game the Ravens played, they played against the Chiefs in the playoffs and lost 17-10. Travis Kelce had a crazy game, 114 receiving yards, I believe, on 11 receptions and a touchdown. So absolutely went ape shit. Now, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into the bets, but I have to set the tone here. Xavier Worthy, very notable addition. Fastest 40-yard dash of all time with 4.22. Shout out Xavier, absolute demon. But there's a couple flaws with Xavier Worthy that have been shown discreetly on Twitter, man. So Xavier Worthy, he's not physical enough yet. He's not big enough, man. He's just not. You've seen in multiple videos where he just gets absolutely destroyed and blown up, both on man coverage as well as press coverage. So Xavier Worthy, man, I'm not big on him today. I'm not big on him today at all. Actually, he's gonna have a bad game, or really not get a lot of action, and I'll talk about that. Why? Because I know that's a tough thing for people to imagine, obviously with Hollywood Brown out. So the main receiving core for Mahomes as of right now is Justin Watson, who's been tried and true, consistent for Mahomes, and Rashee Rice, who was their saving grace of pure shit they had last year with Kadarius Toney, RIP his career. But if you can't do well with Patrick Mahomes, you're not going to do well with any other quarterback in the league. I think that's well known. Then obviously you still have Xavier Worthy, you have Travis Kelce, and then you have oh my God, why can't I remember his name? You guys know what I'm talking about. Mecole Hardman. who, performed very well in the playoffs. We actually hit a touchdown prop on him in the Super Bowl with that addition. That was huge. So the Chiefs are still going to be good. They're still going to be great offensively. And defensively, they just keep getting better and better. The reason a lot of people will say that they were able to make their surge and win the Super Bowl last year was, in fact, because of their defense. So, Rain, where you go in this? Because you kind of sound like you're leaning heavy on the Chiefs. Well, I'm not. I'm not leaning heavily on the Chiefs, and there's multiple reasons why, okay? We know Kelce is an absolute unit, and he's going to get targets, okay? He's going to get the ball thrown to him regardless. Like, Mahomes is going to make some crazy fucking passes. We saw him do the behind-the-back pass in the preseason, man. It's Mahomes. You can't fucking stop Mahomes. It's not possible. Everybody knows this, all right? You can slow him down. And I believe that the Ravens into this game, are going to do everything in their power to just stop Kelce, okay? If they could just stop Kelce and force the subpar receiving core, of Justin Watson, great receiver, not an elite, but a good average receiver. Rashee Rice, a bit unproven, newer receiver, top cornerbacks are obviously going to be covering Rashee Rice. There's really not a lot of potential for them to dominate in the pass game here, okay? Because if they stop Travis Kelce, there's going to be other people that are going to have to come and make the play, and I just don't see that. I don't see that for the Chiefs, especially with the Ravens having a largely improved cornerback room this year. So, switching over defensively now, we're talking defensively. I'm going to talk Chiefs. So, Chiefs defense is an absolute unit, okay? They're elite. They're used to athletic quarterbacks consistently, obviously having Mahomes, and, understanding that, Lamar Jackson is a very mobile quarterback. The Chiefs are going to want to stop him from running the ball immediately. But a good thing is in my opinion, this is the first time in a long time that really Lamar Jackson has all his tools at his disposal, right? Like you have Zay Flowers, who's had, multiple years now to progress. He has a role. He's phenomenal, playing super well. You have Mark Andrews back, healthy, top target consistently for Lamar Jackson. You now have Derrick Henry. Now, he's not going to, break away 90-yard runs, but Derrick Henry is he's still a behemoth. He's going to get you 4 to 5 yards per carry every time. It's going to take a lot more pressure off Lamar Jackson with this offensive unit this year to allow him to be more versatile and explosive with his pass plays, okay? People give a lot of Lamar Jackson a lot of shit on passing plays, but the reality is, man, he really hasn't had a lot to work with. He really hasn't, man. Every year Mark Andrews is injured, or he has a lingering injury, or he has, a subpar receiver core, or he really only has one guy that he could throw to. Now he has a very, very, very consistent, not only backfield, but receiving core as well. He's going to be able to get the ball out too. Ultimately, I do think this is a dogfight, and I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking the under, right? It screams the under. You saw in the playoffs, man, 17-10. Makes sense. Under sitting around 44.5. I don't think that's a bad play, but I do think that it's a trap, okay? I think it's a trap because both of these teams, both, not just one, both have extremely explosive offensive potential, okay? They have extremely explosive offensive potential, and I would not be surprised if this just becomes an absolute dogfight, man. An absolute dogfight where, we're seeing, 70-yard bombs from, Lamar deep downfield to Zay Flowers. We're seeing, Travis Kelce pick up 20-yard passes sitting in the middle of cover 3. I expect this to be actually a very high-scoring game, and I love the over. But that's not my bet. My bet is I'm putting one unit. I have two main bets. First bet, I'm taking the Ravens +3. Why? Because I think the Ravens are way fucking better than they were last season, and I think the Chiefs are about in the same, I think they're in the same realm. I think they're in the exact same realm, man. I don't think much has changed for them. I think they got extremely lucky. I know Patrick Mahomes is elite. I know he has the Tom Brady effect where, you never bet against Patrick Mahomes. But, first game of the season, Andy Reid really has barely had to play against any tough opponents in week 1 consistently. He's played the Browns, he's played the Broncos, he's just played a bunch of shitters week 1 every time, and the Jags, and it's been an absolute blowout. But they did play, I can't remember the team, I'd have to pull it up real quick, but, about 4 years ago, they did lose. They lost week 1, and they played a good, competent team. But the previous 3 seasons, they've played shitters. They played absolute shitters week 1. And we know that Andy Reid likes to try to not get cute. He's not going to call complex plays. He's not going to do anything. He is a playoff demon. He does not give an absolute fuck. He obviously cares about the regular season, and a win is a win, but he's going to keep everything in his bag to get him to the playoffs. And then, however he makes it to the playoffs, he's then going to pull everything out, which we've seen time and time again in the playoffs. So I love Ravens +3, and I've been contemplating taking Ravens money line, man. I think the Ravens are going to win this one. I have, a full-on, hard on here for the Ravens. It makes sense. It makes sense by it not making sense in my mind, but hopefully my synopsis has helped. Now, parlay lovers. This parlay is the greatest value I've seen in a parlay for a very fucking long time. I think this has a better chance of hitting even than the Ravens +3, which is fucking crazy to say. So this parlay is plus 1,000 odds, all right? So $100 to win $1,000, 10 to win $100, $1 to win $10. You understand? This is the parlay. Xavier Worthy under 3.5 receptions. I am telling you, he is not going to have a big game. He is not going to have a big game, and we know Mahomes would trust, right? He's going to try. He's going to throw him maybe 1 to 2 balls, and if he doesn't catch those, he's done. He's done. He's done. Mahomes is going to want to win the game, and he's going to get it to his consistent wideouts. I mean, he has so many wideouts that he can already trust, so many receiving options that have that trust built, that are able to be proven and have performed very well in the past. He's not going to feed Xavier Worthy a ton if he's not able to get a lot of production out, okay? And I know that sounds simple to comprehend and understand, but I'm telling you guys, man, under 3.5 for Xavier Worthy, he's super overvalued in this game. The reason I'm not taking it under his yards is because by fucking chance, he does run a 4.22. Mahomes throws, a 50-yard bomb. Xavier Worthy catches that shit and takes to the house. That's 70 yards on one completion. I still think, even if he had that completion, I still think he would have under 3.5 completion this game. So I love that bet. Next one, Zay Flowers, over 52.5 receiving yards. Absolutely, wholeheartedly fucking love this pick. Now you might be like, Rain, why are you taking Zay Flowers over Mark Andrews? Well, Mark Andrews, where he's at in his career right now, he is a consistent 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7 option, or 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 option, right? He's your guy. He's not going to get a big gain. He's going to probably get 4 or 5 catches this game, but he's looking at like over 47.5 yards in most books. And Mark Andrews he's had a lot of injuries, man. And he's getting fucking old. He's getting old. To me, that just seems so much riskier than Zay Flowers, who guaranteed is going to get a lot of volume, whether it's screen passes, whether it's deep shots, whether it's post routes, whether it's hitch routes, whatever the fuck. They're going to want to get Zay Flowers in space, and they're going to feed him the ball. And I highly expect, I see him over on my metrics having this around 70 yards. So 52.5, 17.5 points of value here. I love that. I think that's a fucking gimme. So Worthy under 3.5, Zay over 52.5. And then we're taking an anytime touchdown score. Now this one's going to be a little crazy, but again, I'm super confident in this one, man. You got Lamar Jackson, anytime TD score. Now I'm going to tell you why. Lamar Jackson is a fucking stud. We all know this, man. He's extremely good with the ball in his hands. And the thing that I love about Lamar is that he's got a chip on his shoulder, man. He fucking hates Mahomes. He hates Mahomes, as he should, as 100% as he should. It's an AFC, quarterback who's always been seen better than him, that's always been seen and held to a higher rate than him, that's even been paid more than him. So Lamar Jackson is just one of those guys where he's always had to put the game in his hands to figure stuff out, to find ways to score, and a lot of times then by running the ball. Now, obviously, people will be nervous with Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews, great red zone options. But you got to think about it. The Chiefs are going to look for that. The Chiefs are going to see that, and the Chiefs, I guarantee you, they're going to try to dare Lamar Jackson run on them. Okay, and so I expect not a lot of rushing yards from Lamar Jackson, but I do expect him, 5-10 yards from the goal line, take it up the gut, do a design quarterback run, play action, roll out run with Lamar Jackson. He's going to score. So those are my picks. Ravens +3, Ravens plus money line if you want to let your nuts hang, and then parlay for 1,000 odds. Lamar Jackson touchdown score, Xavier Worthy under 3.5 receptions, and Zay Flowers over 52.5 receiving yards. All right, we're back, baby. We're back, and tomorrow we're going to Brazil. We're going to fucking Brazil. So I love y'all. Let's stay blessed. Follow the Twitter, Rain Bets. I'm gonna have a shirt on. I'm gonna be at my in-laws, man, for like probably this whole week 1 betting cycle. I'll be here. Monday, I'll definitely be back at the crib. You guys see the professional setup. You see the good camera. You see the good mic. You see all this awesome, dope shit. But we're working with what we got, and I got to get this video out for you guys. So let me know in the comments if you're riding with me or not, man. Rain Bets, bro. We're about to start 2-0. That's right. I'm one of the only sports bettors out there that actually include parlays in their overall record. And as you guys know, my bets are always free. I'm never going to make you guys pay for picks. If you make people pay for picks, it's because you're not making enough money and winning with your actual bets. All right? Whew! Let's ride NFL Week 1. Dun, 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 dun!